Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Simply Psyched Psychology Made Easy. My name is Achal Taiwade and today we will discuss the topic what is personality. Whenever we use the term personality, the first thing that comes to our mind is the impressions we have about a person. If someone is asked to describe their personality, they generally respond with a list of adjectives that they feel describe them. These adjectives can include things like being sociable, being humble, being anxious, being very jolly, and so on. So people generally say that this is my personality by naming the list of adjectives which they think suit them. Also, whenever we meet someone and we get impressed by them, we say that this person has a very tremendous personality. So generally we use the term personality to describe the impressions which we have about people. Now these impressions can be based upon one's salient features like the social skills, public speaking abilities, competence, smartness, external appearance, etc. But in psychology, the use of term personality refers to a much deeper sense. It is a very abstract concept in psychology. Though the popular notion of personality is not a scientific meaning, but the literal meaning of the word personality is on the similar grounds. The word personality comes from a Latin word persona. This persona word refers to the masks which are worn by actors in dramas. Now these masks are worn by the actors to represent the various characters which they play. So the literal or the etymological meaning of personality refers to the masks which people wear while having a social interaction. This refers to one's public personality or socially desirable characteristics that we show while interacting with others. The word personality refers to one's overall impression. So, how we use the term personality is very much similar to its original meaning, but the same meaning was not carried forward in the scientific stream of psychology, because as the science of psychology developed, the understanding of various concepts improved, and so did the concept of personality as well. With time, our understanding of this term personality became much wider and much abstract. So let's try to understand the concept of personality better. Personality is a very abstract concept and it integrates the many aspects that characterize what a person is like. It's a very abstract concept which integrates or which brings together the many aspects that characterize what a person is like. So a person's personality is an integration of many aspects of that person, which could be an integration of various characteristics like kindness, warmth, intelligence, emotional, tidiness, anxiousness, and many other aspects that characterize the individual. All of these aspects together form a personality. To sum up, personality is a pattern of behavior including thoughts and feelings that characterize each individual's adoption to the situations of key of his or her life. What does it mean? Personality is a pattern of behavior. It is a pattern of behavior and it includes one's thoughts and feelings that characterize each individual's adoption to the situations that are key to his or her own life. So these situations can be unique. The adoption of an individual is towards this situation, and this whole thing, the individual adoption to the situation will characterize that person's personality. Generally, in most of the definitions of personality, there are few points which are focused upon. These include configuration of characteristics, adjustment of a situation, or characteristic pattern of behavior, thought and emotion, and a stable pattern of emotional motives and behavior that distinguishes one person from the another. And this indicates that every individual has a unique personality. Now when it comes to defining personality, the first and foremost name which we take is that of Jordan Allport. Jordan Orport is an icon in the field of personality who changed the way personality psychology is studied. I will make a separate video on his work. Right now we will see his work in terms of the definitions of personality only. For now, so let me tell you that he did an exhaustive survey of literature and extracted more than 10,000 words that describe a personality. And finally, after an extensive procedure of compiling the whole data and shortening the whole data, he extracted 50 different definitions. So the minimum possible ways in which he could define personality was 50 times, and all of these definitions were categorized by him into some broad types. Now, what are the types of definitions of personality? This becomes an important question when it comes to the MCQs in various entrance examinations. So, the first type of definition which he talked about was a biosocial definition. Now, the biosocial definitions refer to the personality as a social stimulus, values, or an outward appearance of an individual, how others react to that individual. The next one is biophysical definitions, which refer to organic as well as the perceived side of an individual. Basically, how a person looks like and how he or she is perceived by others. Though this looks very similar to the biosocial one, this category has an organic component while the previous definition has a more social component. The next category is rack-back definitions or omnibus definitions. These are basically the enumerations of various characteristics that a person has, and this consists of all the list which describe a person. Now these so that is the basically an integration of various characteristics of an individual. The next category is about an integrative approach. So the integrative definitions try to organize a pattern of behavior into an active order. So they basically organize a pattern of behavior in a particular order. The next category is a uniqueness definition. These definitions focus upon what makes a person distinct from others, what makes a person stand out from others, what makes him unique. So that is the uniqueness definition. The next category is the adjustment definition. These definitions try to relate a personality characteristics to one's abilities of adjustment, which are many times required for a survival mechanism. The last category is the essence category, which refers to who the person actually is. It is the essence of one's personality, irrespective of how he or she is presenting oneself and how others see them. It doesn't tell anything about how the person is presenting or how the others are seeing him. It tells about what is the actual core of an individual. So that is the focus of essence kind of definitions. Now let's try to understand the various definitions of personality which are given by different psychologists. So some of the most important definitions of personality are mentioned over here. The first one is by Schultz. He gave this definition in 2004. It says that personality is the unique, relatively enduring internal and external aspects of a person's character that influence behavior in different situations. Personality is a unique and relatively permanent. What is relatively enduring? Relatively permanent internal and external aspects. So it is a unique and relatively permanent aspects of an individual. What aspects? Which are internal as well as external of an individual or a person, that person's character that influence the behavior in different situations. So the internal and external aspects of an individual's character which are relatively permanent, unique to an individual, and those characterize or those influence his behavior in various situations. That was given by Schultz. The next definition is by J.B. Watson, which was given in 1930. He says that personality is a sum of activities that can be discovered by actual observations over a long enough period of time to give a reliable information. He says that personality is a sum of activities. It's an integration of various activities that can be discovered by actual observation. And what kind of actual observation? Not ones which are for 2-3 days, but these observations should be over a long enough period of time to give reliable information. The next definition was given by M. Prince in 1929. This definition says that personality is the sum total of all biological innate dispositions, impulses, tendencies, appetites and instincts of an individual and the dispositions and tendencies acquired by experiences. So Prince tries to combine the hereditary and environmental factors of personality. The next definition is by Raymond Cattell. This is a wonderful, Raymond Cattell has given a wonderful theory of personality as well, which we'll be discussing further. So Raymond Cattell, he defined personality as something that which permits a prediction of what a person will do in a given situation. Cattell says that it is something that permits us a prediction which helps us to predict what a person will do in a given situation. Then Allport in 1961, he defined personality as the dynamic organization within the individual of those psychophysical systems that determine his characteristic behavior and thought. What does he say? Personality is a dynamic organization, means it is always changing, it is never stable, it is consistently changing. And so the dynamic organization within the individual of those psychophysical systems, okay, psychological as well as physical systems that determine one's characteristic behavior and thought. So it's a dynamic organization which is an organization which is constantly changing within an individual for all the psychological as well as physiological systems, and these systems together determine how a person will behave and think. Lastly, the definition by Feast in 2009 describes personality as a pattern of relatively permanent traits and unique characteristics. So he says that personality is relatively permanent and is unique to every individual. So these were the most widely accepted and most widely used definitions of personality. Now in these definitions you must have seen someone says that personality is a unique one, someone says personality is a shared aspect, someone says it's it's dynamic, someone says it's static. So what is the nature of personality? So that will be the last part of this lecture. So let's go to the next slide, which will discuss about nature of personality. Now when we talk about nature of personality, the first thing which is to be discussed is that personality is a unique thing. Personality is unique and specific to every individual. No two people are exactly alike. Secondly, despite of these unique and specific features of every individual, personality also has a shared characteristics. Every individual has certain traits that are extremely unique to himself, and there is also a shared element in one's personality which is similar to many others, right? So even though a person has a shared characteristics with other individuals, but despite of that the overall combination of all these shared characteristics is a unique one. Therefore we say every individual is a unique individual. No two individuals are same, but also no two individuals are completely different. There are some or the other shared characteristics which people share with each other. Next point is the sense of self or self-consciousness. This is a very important aspect of personality. It basically means the awareness about oneself. This is a very important aspect of one's identity. It is a strong basis of one's personality development. People with a higher sense of self-consciousness, develop a more positive traits of personality and they become more positive people. Next is personality includes everything about a person. Yes, personality is not just a few aspects about person. Each and everything that could describe a person is a part of his personality. These aspects of that person could be visible, invisible, innate aspects, learned aspects which are learned through experiences. Each and every aspect is together forming a personality. Next is, it is more than a collection of traits and characteristics. Though we say that it includes everything about a person, it is not just a collection of traits and characteristics. It also includes one's experiences, one's and one's looks and various other things. It's not just a collection of traits and characteristics. It's a very abstract concept. Personality is a very abstract concept. The next point is, it is a dynamic as well as static. So in the previous definitions we saw that somebody describes personality as dynamic, someone says it's a static one. So personality is both. Personality is such a unique concept which is both dynamic as well as static. What does it mean? It indicates that some aspects of personality keep changing with time, they keep changing across situations, with experiences, while other aspects remain same. Now the aspects which keep changing are called as dynamic aspects, and the ones which keep static or the ones which remain stable are called as the static aspects. And this whole there is a whole very nice combination of these various dynamic and static aspects which are unique to an individual. Next is, personality is subject to disorientation and disorganization. Yes, one's personality can become disoriented or disorganized depending upon that person's vulnerability and overall experiences in life, the amount of stress one is experiencing, the kind of situations one is into, and a disorganized personality can manifest into various psychological disorders. That is why personality is the basis of the abnormal psychology, and it's the basis of the psychotherapy as well. Next point is that personality is a product of both hereditary and environmental factors as well. Personality cannot be just because of hereditary factors, and it cannot be completely because of environmental factors. Both the factors are equally important for a person's overall personality. The genes which a person receives, the biological mechanisms, and the environmental or psychosocial aspects, both of these aspects play a very crucial role in determining one's personality. The last and most important point is that role of learning and development. Learning and development play very crucial role in one's development. So these include one's learning experiences and development on a psychosocial level, which play a crucial role. So you must have seen many influential people in the world who have a very tough journey in life, and you must have heard them saying that because of all those experiences I am what I am today. So these different experiences of an individual help people to learn various things. These experiences develop an individual on a more conscious level, and therefore these experiences help a person to learn and to develop through the course of lifetime, and they have a major contribution in making the people who they become in their life. So therefore personality plays a very important role when we try to understand psychology. So that was all from my side for today's lecture. We will see some more theories of personalities in upcoming lecture series. Thank you very much for giving your time. If you like my lecture, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, and share with your friends as well. Thank you so much. Have a good day.